Still to come on Now.
My broken heart.
Country superstar Reba McEntire on what broke her heart.
It's the deepest, darkest hour of my life.
Reba revealed when Now continues.
Never will.
Now, once again, Katie Couric.
She's got a voice that's pure, raw emotion, a head of red hair that could stop traffic, and business sense. Well, she's so savvy, she's been called the Oprah of Nashville. If you know I'm talking about Reba McEntire, I know where the buttons on your radio are set. Her credentials are impressive. 22 albums, 2 Grammys, and 30 other awards as the top female country singer. Right now, she's on stage in Winnipeg, Canada. The reigning queen of country is on a roll.
Good evening.
How are you? Reba McEntire taking her show on the road. In just 90 minutes, 9,000 fans snapped up the tickets for this concert in Hampton, Virginia.
I think she's a great storyteller.
Yeah, and true life, Reba's life.
Are they ready for Reba?
After some last-minute adjustments by her manager, who's also her husband, Reba's ready for them. What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, do you know I got it? And I want you to do for me is show me some respect when you need her. Hey, baby. The bright lights and sellout shows are a long way from Chalky, Oklahoma. Reba was the 3rd child of a ranching family. Her father was a rodeo champion. Reba and the other kids had to help tend cattle on 8,000 acres.
And when we got lost, we would do the famous McEntire yell to try to locate each other.
Well, now you know I'm going to ask you to do that famous McEntire yell.
Well, I think my microphone's a little too close. Grandpap would go, wee, and we would go, wee, and then back and forth until we found another person, or a creek bed, or a road.
Like her daddy, Reba couldn't resist the life of a rodeo nomad. She became a professional barrel racer in her teens. Now she owns her own horse farm and 24 thoroughbreds, with plenty of room to roam on 350 acres near Nashville.
You were thrown up on a saddle when you were a little kid, said get up there and find some cattle and bring them in. And it wasn't a pleasure thing. You had to do it. And then when you got older, when you had the chance to compete in rodeos and show-deos and quarter horse shows, then it was fun.
Yeah.
But man, I never had anything like this. Always got the rejects.
Yeah.
They gave me the horses that just needed exercising.
And he's pretty fancy, huh, this horse?
He's very fancy in my books.
Fancy and impressive at the track. And she doesn't just raise horses. Reba started Starstruck Development, which is now building new offices for her music publishing company. Her assets are reported to be worth over $10 million.
You are incredibly driven, and there's something really steely about you, and I mean that as a compliment.
Thanks.
Because I think you're a nice person as well, but boy, there's a real determination.
It's the red hair, I think.
Is that what it is? The red hair?
The red hair.
Reba's other company, Starstruck Aviation, has a fleet of corporate jets. But it's not strictly a business venture. It's the product of personal tragedy.
Sweet dreams of you.
Sweet Dreams. It was the last song they performed together.
Every night I go through.
Now she was singing it for the 7 members of her band and her tour manager, all killed when their plane crashed near San Diego 3 years ago.
And that was the single most nightmare I've ever been through in my entire life.
The band had taken off late after a concert. It was a clear night, but the plane was too low.
And I just noticed a large explosion over that way in the...
Reba and her husband, Narvel Blackstock, were at the hotel. Another pilot called and gave them the news.
And he thinks one of our planes went down. And I said, well, is everybody all right? He said, well, no, Reba, I think everybody's dead. And I said, oh, no, well, surely not. He said, yeah. So then the next ordeal was for Narvel to call everybody. Some families took it quietly. Some people would scream. And Narvel finally had to tell me to go in the other room because I was following him from room to room, just crying. But I did call Barbara, my friend, Barbara Mandrell.
It was very hard to grasp. But I cried. She cried. We prayed.
We didn't know what we were doing. We were so rum-dum. We were so shocked.
Do you think about them every day?
It's the deepest, darkest hour of my life. There's nothing that compares to it. So, yeah, something every day in my life I think about them.
You took some flack, Reba, after that tragedy. Some people thought you hadn't spent enough time on the grieving process, that you performed at the Academy Awards, about 9 days after the crash. And some people thought the song you sang, I'm Checking Out, was sort of an unfortunate choice or an unfortunate song given the circumstances.
They had a problem. If people have a problem of me coming back and singing at the Oscars, I can't help that. I had 2 band members that needed to get back on stage for their sanity and for the livelihood of their families too. I needed to get back on stage. If I didn't get back on stage as quick as I did, I may not have ever gone back on stage. Who knows?
But oh, the sun is blinding me as it wakes me from the dark. I guess the world didn't stop.
Reba dedicated her next album and this song, For My Broken Heart, to her band.
No, I guess the world ain't gonna stop my broken heart.
She'll sing it at 127 concerts this year. She'll fly to almost all of them. This even after her own close call. Reba's plane made an emergency landing a year and a half after the crash. She changed planes and made the next show.
But does he love you? Does he love you like he loves me? Like he loves me? Does he think of you? Does he think of you when he's holding me?
Reba's latest hit, a duet with Linda Davis, won a Grammy and helped recruit a whole new legion of Reba fans.
Does he love you? Does he love you like he's been loving me?
And when I sang a song on my stage show and I look down in the audience and there's about 10 people in the front row, men and women, covering their faces, that gets me. I can't watch them. I'm reading the exit signs. I can't watch them because it rips my heart open because I know I have touched upon something that's maybe healing to them. Maybe they're going to talk about it now. Maybe they want to deal with this problem they have.
Does he love you? Does he love you like he's been loving me?
After the show is over, most stars would be whisked away.
Oh, this is fan club. They're wild.
But Reba makes it her business to schmooze with her fans. Tonight, they bring birthday presents to help her celebrate the big 3-9.
That's me.
They're very honest. They're just like your family. They'll tell you to your face exactly what they think, how you dress, how your hair is, whether they like it straight or curly, and please don't cut it off. They won't say, please, Reba, don't you cut your hair off anymore. We like it just like that. I say, yes, ma'am.
Do you ever feel like saying, I don't really care what you think about my hair?
No.
Inside?
No. No, I get a big kick out of it. I really do. I really do.
I mean, doesn't it feel like they own you in some ways? And
Oh, they do think they have. There's no
and
doubt
I guess
about
in some
that.
ways they really do, don't they?
Yeah, they put the groceries on my table.
Bye-bye. Y'all take care of yourself.
By now, it's well after midnight. Reba leaves her family of fans to fly back to Nashville for some time with her real family, including her 4-year-old son, Shelby. Because once you get past the show business, Reba McEntire's pleasures are pretty simple.
Okay, Katie, saddle up.
Reba, what kind of things do you do for fun? You say you don't ride horses very often because you're too busy, but what do you do to relax and kind of have a good time?
I like to piddle and clean up the house and... No,
that
when I
sounds
say
really fun.
I don't mean housework. I mean, you know, get in the office and sort stuff that I haven't been able to go through for months, and clean out closets and play with my family and go see movies. I'm a movie fanatic. I love to go see movies.
Yeah. So basically, you just like to hang out.
Yeah, normal stuff.
You're pretty normal, period, huh?
Yeah.
About as normal as you can get for a multi-millionaire country music megastar.
And there's more ahead for Reba. She's been nominated for 7 awards, including Entertainer of the Year at next month's Country Music Awards. And her new book, Reba, My Story, will hit bookstores next Wednesday. We'll be right back.